doesn't get any better than this.
What a blow! Barangay Ginebra, AM Saturday with Alaska.
Bitter rivals meet again. Fireworks will explode.
Simpson, the go-to guy for Alaska.
Ragnar says, I got it!
The fast.
Elderbrand, locked and loads.
The furious.
Does he score?
And the thriller.
Miller time!
Against the well-oiled Alaska system.
Baguio. Oh, what a dogfight.
This is gone.
Will be the first to punch.
Nakakatakot na naman ang voicing natin dahil napaka-importante ng laro na ito. And the teams sense it also because we're the other half of the quarterfinal battle. This involves number 4, Alaska, and the team that landed in number 5, Barangay Ginebra. A new rivalry chapter is going to be written here tonight. I like your webpage tonight. It's huge, bold, and intensified.
New and improved.
Yes, let's take a look at Jason's webpage for this game.
For our webpage for the quarterfinals and let's start. Kita mo naman.
Wala akong masabi.
Parang back to school ang dating.
Ang laki.
And first let's start off with Alaska. First of all, I believe they have to go slow and steady. There's no way that Alaska can go on a track meet against Barangay Ginebra. So they have to be, it's going to be about tempo. It's about keeping their pace, running their offense, and not hurrying up things. Next stop is, it's showtime. This is LA Tenorio's team right now. Alaska's LA Tenorio's team. It's actually LA Tenorio's day. It's actually his birthday today, and today's his chance to show the Alaska franchise and their fans that he can take this team very far without Willie Miller. And finally, poised under pressure. You know, when you play a team like Barangay Ginebra, it's more than just the physical, it's the mental, especially when you put the crowd aspect into it. Very important for Alaska to stay mature with everything that they're doing on the court.
And on the other side of the floor, there's also a webpage for Barangay Ginebra.
Moving over to Barangay Ginebra, when you look at their webpage, number one that's important for them is that they have to go deep. When I mean go deep, you look at this lineup, 1 to number 12 in that lineup is a very potent player. You know what they can do. The only team that has 3 MVPs in the uniform, and they actually have a 4th who actually is a practice player in Johnny Abarientos. That is how deep this team is, and they have to take advantage of their depth. Next up, share the wealth. Barangay Ginebra has had trouble when they have resorted to one-on-one plays instead of trusting each other and allowing the team to play team basketball. And finally, their new import, Chris Daniels, who gave them a win in their last outing. He must continue to inspire his teammates. In his first outing, he had 19 points, 19 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks. If he can do this, it's very important for him to do this so the rest of the locals have someone to look up to, and they know that they can win this series with a very good import.
And those are 2 sides of the web pages that we will keep you posted on as this game sails along. And the first touch of the ball belongs to Barangay Ginebra. And interestingly, it was pointed out to us that Topex Robinson, who has been on a brief hiatus, if you may call it one, has been signed up by Alaska. And the guard line is one of the issues that will be watched very closely in this series because it's very simple. All the guards seem to be on the side of Barangay Ginebra and El Tenorio, and will be having his hands full.
When you look at the lineup, and we go back to history first, Alaska won the Fiesta Conference in 07, and then Barangay Ginebra won it in 08. Last year, San Miguel won it, so that was 09. But the lineup, the guard lineup of Alaska in 07 is actually on the side of Barangay Ginebra now.
Yes.
That's Mike Cortez and Willie Miller.
So the musical chair dance just continues as we have a good-sized Friday crowd here at the Big Dome. The shot from the wing will not work. And 30 seconds into the game, we are still scoreless. Here's Elderbrand with a stepping out game, if you would call it one. against Rain or Shine. And Ninoy, nice pass. And that created the opening.
Remember, we talked about sharing. We saw the first two plays of Barangay Ginebra. They're moving the basketball very well, hitting the cutters, and getting good looks near the basket.
Caguioa with his own version on the other side of the floor. Knotted for the first time as the first minute of play says goodbye. There's Daniels, who has impressed us as a kind of import who seems more interested in passing, trying to create opportunities for his teammates. That is off. And here we go with Alaska. Caguioa rushing, pulls up quickly. Familiar quarter court jumper. He has all of the points of Alaska.
Remember, Cyrus Caguioa moved over to Alaska just this conference. In the first game that he played against his former team, he was adjudged best player of that game. And so far, when you look at that trade, Willie Miller for Cyrus Caguioa, numbers-wise, Cyrus Caguioa is actually having a better year compared to Willie Miller.
I agree. In the meantime, Leo Campo, now the owner of all of the points of the barangay, on the other hand. We're tied at 4. Caguioa looking inside. Here's toss. 9 seconds on the time period as Tenorio bangs it against the glass. No success. Rebound, tiptoed, 4 by toss. But too many other hands trying to pry it loose. Tubit breaks away, does not force it. Hildebrand deciding against it. Can't shake off Tenorio. De Campo deciding against it. Tubit says, let me try this version. Simpson picks up off the dribble of Tubit. Caguioa seems interested in rushing quickly. Fouled on the arm, apparently by Hildebrand or Caguioa.
So far, Cyrus Caguioa playing very inspired basketball, pushing the ball up and putting pressure on the defense of Ginebra.
They now confirm it and give it to Caguioa. First foul of the game. We're still tied at 4. Caguioa hooks it back in. Tubit and the stretch. No serve. Rebound picked up by LA. LA telling the Vans, rush up, rush up, rush up, because we are ahead in numbers, but no lift on that layup. 3 minutes zipping by as here. Hildebrand with a spin on the floor. The twisting shot will not work. Daniels grapples with it, tries to create space, scores inside.
Oh, Chris Daniels playing very positive basketball. We've seen him have nice cuts to the basket. He's kept the ball alive on the defensive end by getting his hands on a lot of balls.
Saka alam mo, coaches will tell you, pag hindi mo makuha yung rebound, papikin mo o kahit ibigay mo sa kakampin mo. Kasi di ba normally pag bata tinuturuan mo, secure the rebound, pagbaba mo, labas ang elbows, but sa laki ng mga player dito, papikin mo lang, pwede na eh. May foul doon sa eksenang yun. And they give it to Deo Campo, and Simpson's been that cool dude of an import was worked well with Alaska.
Yeah, one of the few imports that actually started with his team, was able to stay with them all throughout. That hasn't been the story on the other side, speaking for Barangay Ginebra, because Barangay Ginebra, that's already their 4th import that they brought in, while Alaska, luckily for them, they found a perfect fit for their system.
And the word has it that he had played that triangle when he was in college and sort of just slid into the system so easily. 8:33 remaining, and we're all even Steven at 6 apiece. And if you just joined us earlier tonight, it was BMEG drawing first blood in their own quarterfinal battle. 108-102 was the winning score against a tenacious rain or shine team that seems to play well when their opponents are at least on paper tougher than them. That will work against the glass, and Caguioa 6 of the 8 points, or the 6 of the 8, that's correct, of Alaska.
But Alaska doesn't really like to run so much, but if the opportunity is there, they're going to take advantage of it. One thing that we've seen so far, Barangay Ginebra not doing a good job of their transition defense.
Yes. And Daniels with early contributions as we go below 8 minutes here. Simpson and Daniels banging, and Daniels ending up giving up his first foul. And already Barangay Ginebra with its 3rd team foul. You know, earlier today, rain or shine showing none of the weariness or the fatigue of the long stretch of games that they've played, 4 or 5 games. leading up today.